Okay, so these are more embarrassing stories of my klutziness. And all of these happen in Chicago too. So I grew up on the north side, and I don't know if you know, um, on the red line, the Morse L stop, that's where this happened. And I remember actually walking upstairs there, like learning how to take 2 steps at a time. But this happened when I was like 3 years old. And you know how the turnstile will like thwack underneath when you go through? I don't know if they still do those anymore, so I don't know. But anyways, that's how it was. There was like an arm that would come down, and it was very heavy. And of course, because I was 3, it was like about, the height of my nose, right? So, because I was underage and not needing to have a ticket or whatever, the person in the little booth or whatever would just like press a button and I would follow my mom, or I would try to follow within her. Well, that didn't work out this time. And instead of waiting for them to give me the next pass through, I thought I would crawl under it, I guess. So I tried to do that, but the distance between the bottom of the arm and the floor itself was too narrow, too close. So I couldn't exactly just duck walk under it. I had to actually go on my belly, and like a commando, I'm like wiggling through this thing. Meanwhile, my mom and the guy in the booth were looking at me like, what is she doing? I'm like, I'm trying to get through. You didn't tell me to do something different. So yeah, that was fun. The next one happened around my birthday. I love to go horseback riding, and I usually will go around my birthday every year. And I ride Western, not English, so that kind of changes the story a little bit. Well, anyways, my mom had taken us out, I don't even remember where we were, what area, somewhere out in the country, which I don't even know where that is now, but to go and ride on a trail. So our trail guide had given, I think yeah, the horse that I had was male, and he was kind of, well, I mean, he was spunky to a degree, but he also was kind of lazy and didn't want to do stuff. And like I would click and kiss, and he would go, and I would squeeze my feet, and he would go. But if I kicked, like I don't like kicking, so I try to avoid it. But sometimes I couldn't; he would only move if I did. So most of the time on this trail, we were just walking. And then there was like a grove of trees where she had said to us, if you want to gallop or trot right now in this grove right here, this is definitely the place to do it because you have a good long pass, and he'll have enough chance to rest before we go through the rest of it. And I said, okay, great. So we start out in a trot, and what I'm hoping for while he's trotting is that I'm going to be able to get him up to a canter. And some horses don't actually know how to canter. They only have been taught trot and gallop, or they don't canter as often, so they don't know that that's what you're wanting them to do. So when I clicked further and kicked, he did go into a gallop, and then I kind of pulled back the reins a wee bit so he would kind of get the idea, go a little slower, but still keep up pace. So, you rein at the same time that you kind of kick a wee bit. Well, when I did that, the canter did begin, and it was beautiful. And then, because of the way that I had pulled on the reins, I don't know if that changed the way that my legs were leaning, but something happened, and the straps of the saddle gave way. Not fully, but just enough for me to become entirely perpendicular. I was at a right angle. I was basically on the side of the horse while he's cantering. And then I'm like trying to right myself up, which only propelled me over to the very other side. So again, I'm on the side. Finally, I pull the reins back and up, and I'm able to pull myself up onto the top of the horse, and I make the horse stop. Oh my gosh. I look at the trail guide, and she's like, I've never seen anything like that. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like breathing hard and heavy. I mean, I know that like people in rodeos kind of do tricks like that, but that wasn't what I was trying to do, and I'm not trying to do something like that. It was totally a surprise to me, right? So she dismounts a horse, and she has me dismount, which really I was practically doing before she had me. And then, she fixes the saddle straps and makes sure everything's okay. And then she wants me to remount, which I look at her and I'm like, really, I'd rather take your horse now. This guy here, he's just making fun of me at this point, She's like, you got to get back on the horse. I'm like, yeah, I know. There's that phrase, got to get back on the horse. So I did, and it was a great ride, and I still go riding every year if I can. Okay, this last one is really weird. This last one is an icy patch story, which, you know, Chicago is a big icy patch all winter long. And I remember this happened with a friend of mine from college. I don't remember if I was married yet or not. It might have been when I was already married and came back, actually. And we were walking on Diversey. And you know how at the top of a ramp, at the bottom of at the end of a street, there's the top of where it is a ramp so that you can go down in a wheelchair. Well, I was wearing boots that had no tread on them whatsoever. They were completely, they had no resistance. They were just, they weren't even rubber. They were, I don't know why I had these boots. They have no business walking around in the winter. They were fashion, I guess. I don't know. But that's what I was wearing. And so at the very top of the ramp, I started to slide all the way down, which caught me against my friend at the bottom because he was closer to the gutter by the street. Now, it didn't connect me with him by my feet. I didn't connect with my hands because I hadn't put my hands out. I didn't connect with my head, but rather instead I connected with the only part of my body that would propel me backwards, kind of like a pontoon. So I slid back halfway up the entire ramp, and then luckily the light turned green because I also slid down again, and I was able to right myself and kind of run and sort of, you know, walk next to my friend. We walked across the street, and I'd say we probably walked maybe a quarter of that block before I kind of took a breath and I looked at him and I said, "Sorry about, you know, what happened on the corner." He said, "Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing. I didn't want to say anything to you because I didn't want to embarrass you, but that was flippin' hilarious." I was laughing too, but so mortified and embarrassed. But yeah, that's what happened. Me and the ice and a friend who was just very gracious. Anyway, so that's my klutziness stories, and I'm happy to tell you as many as I can because they're just ridiculous, and I'm happy to make you laugh and smile. So I hope you're having a great day, and I wish you blessings of peace.